This episode of the Fantasy Underdogs podcast is brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network and BetOnline.ag. We're back and better than ever. A new web interface for the start of the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. And now, another episode of the Fantasy Underdogs podcast. Ah, 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 ah. And welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Underdogs podcast, brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network and also betonline.ag. Jordan, I wasn't going to let your fantastic Halloween intro go to waste, so that's why we had to start over. I was like,
thank you.
Like, I don't know what
And
happened. Gotta do it again.
Yes, and we had to hear that beautiful Dracula
Thank,
promo as well.
thank
So
you.
good.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. Well, happy Halloween, everyone. If you can see this live, I'm dressed as Batman. Happy Halloween, everybody. It is another week of fantasy football and also week 8 pickems. Ladies, how's it going on Halloween day? How's it going?
Going good. Just,
Going great.
yeah.
Except for the fact that I'm genuinely nervous the Eagles are going to lose to the Lions today. So
Have a little faith in your team. I mean, you're dressed like Nick Sirianni. I mean, just kind of, you have to grimace at the fact that they are going against the Lions. You know, the Lions could be an easy win for the Eagles. You never know. Should. But anyways, let's go into week 8. I'm about to tear off this Batman mask because I'm so distracted by everything. But anyways, let's go into our first matchup. The Carolina Panthers going against the Atlanta Braves, or Atlanta Falcons, I'm sorry. Carolina
Still in
got
baseball mode.
I know. Carolina got destroyed last week by the New York Giants. Atlanta eked out a win against the Miami Dolphins. Ladies, who we got in this NFC South matchup today in Atlanta?
Well, I honestly don't think that the Panthers are going to figure it out this week, and they're struggling a bit. I'm actually going with the Falcons, but I think it's going to be super close.
Yeah, I keep picking the Panthers consistently because I still have the mindset from very early on this season when they looked great and were doing phenomenal things. But we just haven't seen that in so long. I am going to go with the Falcons, and I have a feeling this is going to be the week that Carolina wins just because it's like the first week in forever. I haven't actually picked them, but I don't know. I just feel like the Falcons have been able to figure it out in situations and certain situations, and they'll be able to get it against the Panthers. So we'll see.
I've got the Falcons in this game. I think the winning culture is back in Atlanta. The Braves, as I mistakenly said before this matchup, they are one win away from the World Series. So maybe that win culture can come back to the Falcons. It's going to be, I think this one's going to be a sloppy mess of a game. Ladies, let me ask you about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold started off hot the first 3 games with the Panthers, and now he's just looking like the Sam Darnold when he was playing with the New York Jets. What do you think is going on with Sam Darnold in that offense?
It just seems like it's a lot to say that one person carries an entire team, especially when that person isn't the quarterback. But for some reason, whenever the Panthers don't have Christian McCaffrey, they just crumble. And it's not like Sam Darnold was consistently just using him over and over again. Obviously, he's a huge part of that offense, but it just seems like without that comfort of having him there, no one knows how to act. And it's really disappointing because I was really excited for Sam Darnold to kind of remake a name for himself. And it seems like he's falling back into old tendencies. But you can't rely on just one person on a team to win games. So they need to figure it out without McCaffrey.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think that Sam Darnold is kind of freaking out without his running back there. And I mean, he did great the first 3 games. He was leading the league in rushing touchdowns at one point, and now all of a sudden he gets benched for PJ Walker. So it's very strange how he goes up and down, and everyone blamed the Jets for so long, but it seems to be just Sam Darnold and not so much the organization.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think one of the rumors this past week with the whole Deshaun Watson trade. Now it's been said that the Texans are probably going to keep him after the trade deadline, and that's not going to happen. Sam, there was a rumor that the Panthers might trade Christian McCaffrey plus 2 first rounders for Deshaun Watson. Now, obviously, we found out kind of today the Texans are probably not going to move him. Do you think that would have been a wise move to make that trade to Houston, or that would have been another dumb move by the Panthers?
I think that I know Christian McCaffrey has his fair share of injuries and things are, kind of not the best on that front. But I would take an injured Christian McCaffrey over Deshaun Watson in his situation any single day. I don't think that the Texans should, nobody should be picking up Deshaun Watson at this point. So I think that that would have been really stupid. Plus 2 first round picks. I don't know. To gain the headache of Deshaun Watson and everything that's going on with him, I think that that would have, first of all, probably upset a lot of Panthers fans getting rid of their literal star quarterback. Running back. And I think that would have been just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you would have a lot of Panthers fans up in arms about that trade. I mean, the Panthers aren't in rebuilding mode. I mean, they're not in any kind of way of rebuilding at all. I mean, maybe looking for a new quarterback probably in the next year or so in the future. But yeah, I think that trade would have been just terrible in a move like that.
Good.
Let's go to our next matchup. The Dolphins almost had a win last week against the Atlanta Falcons, but now they go into Buffalo to face the Buffalo Bills. Does Tua and company have a chance against the Buffalo Bills today?
Figuring the last time they went up against each other this year, the Dolphins scored 0 points. I just don't think that they can do it. I think that Josh Allen is out here in Buffalo, division rival. Like, he just lives for this kind of stuff. So I definitely think the Bills are going to come out on top over the Dolphins. And they've just been struggling a lot anyway. That even if it was a different Bills team, I don't think the Dolphins can come out on top, especially against this team.
Jordan, we're talking about the Dolphins going into Buffalo. Do they stand a chance against Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills today?
Absolutely not. And I wish they did because I love them and I am still going to try and root for them. And hopefully they can start to pull something together. But today is not the day for them to make that happen because the Bills are surging and the Dolphins are still trying to figure it out.
If you're looking for a fantasy streamer, don't go towards Tua this week. He did have a fantastic week last week against the Atlanta Falcons, so I would maybe put him on the bench or stick him back on waivers again. Not a good pickup for this week against the Buffalo Bills and that stout defense. Let's move on. The San Francisco 49ers are traveling to Chicago. Chicago is in a mess. Matt Nagy, does he have COVID? Is he still on the COVID list? I don't know what's going on in Chicago right now. 49ers are going in there. Jimmy G. It seems like Jimmy G is maybe on his way to the bench. Trey Lance is just kind of waiting in the wings and just chopping at the starting position. Who's going to carry this team more, the offense or the defense for the San Francisco 49ers going forward?
I have a feeling it's going to have to be the defense unless they figure something out at the quarterback situation to make their offense more stable. But right now, everyone just seems very unsure, very uncertain. They can't figure out a real game plan. And I think that's because they don't necessarily know who's going to be in at any given moment. So I think until they have more of a solidified quarterback role, it's going to be defense that has to carry them.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. It's just the 49ers, I think they have so many things that they could be doing right, And with the two quarterback situations, changing up the schemes, like it's just they're very, very confused right now. And they're going up against a team that literally is doing the same thing, or they did the same thing earlier this season with Fields and Dalton. So they really need to figure it out. Jimmy G is just he's so injury prone, and it's constant at this point. It's not the best in the world. So I would have to say Nick Bosa and the defense needs to definitely hold it down for the 49ers.
All right, so who do we got in this game? I've got the 49ers going on a away home
Yeah.
win against the Bears.
I
49ers.
took the Bears.
Did you? Okay.
I
Really?
did.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I don't know. I feel like both of the 49ers technically are a little bit better, I would say, but I feel like both of these teams are kind of on the same level. So if the Bears can just confuse the 49ers enough, I'm just thinking that they could get a win. And Justin Fields needs a comeback day. After that meme of him sitting on the bench from last week,
So
he
sad.
needs a comeback. It was
Ugh.
really sad.
All right, our next matchup is going to be hopefully a good one. The Steelers are traveling into Cleveland to face the Browns. Baker Mayfield is going to be starting today. Nick Chubb is back. Kareem Hunt is still out. Who do we got in the matchup between the Steelers and the Browns today?
I think this is going to be one of the best games of the day, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's a pretty boring day, honestly,
Yeah.
but this is going to be one of the best games of the day. And despite the injuries, I am going with the Browns. I don't think that the Steelers are going to be able to pull one off in Cleveland. But again, it's going to get close. Hopefully, Baker doesn't dislocate his shoulder again, because he continues to do that every single week. And I am someone who absolutely loves Baker Mayfield. I don't want to see that happen for him. Jordan is making a face because she knows that she hates him, but I love him. But yeah, I think the Browns are going to pull one off, especially Chubb coming back. Like he's, part of the main part of this offense, and they're probably just going to be running the ball left and right.
Yeah, so I took the Steelers. I just feel like this is a must-win game for them because this division is still up in the air, and if they can take advantage of some of the Browns' injuries, this would be a very big deal, and it could help them because realistically, two of the teams within this division, I think are going to make the playoffs. So if you can kind of get some of these big wins now, that's going to be what catapults you and gets you there. So Steelers have to get it done today.
Yeah, I've also got the Steelers as well. I just think with all the injuries that the Browns have on defense, and I also picked up Ben Roethlisberger as a streamer this week at the quarterback position.
Nice.
I don't know why I did. I have a feeling about Big Ben maybe having at least a decent game with what he has as weapons. I mean, they are coming off of a bye from last week, so everybody's rested, everybody's good to go. But I think with all the injuries that the Browns have, it's going to be, honestly, I think this might be a sloppy game between these two teams. Sam, I don't want to disagree with you about it. It's going to be one of the best games of the day. It might be one of the best sloppy games.
That's fair.
Of this week. So I've got the Steelers as well. Let's move on. Jordan, your Eagles traveling in to Detroit to face the Lions.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
I'm taking the Eagles because they have to win, or I will be jumping off the Ben Franklin Bridge. So
it's funny how they're so bad on paper or so bad on the TV and live, but Jalen Hurts has been one of the best fantasy quarterbacks this year. Like he stinks, but he doesn't stink when it comes to getting fantasy points for you and your team.
Well, because he just chucks it, but where he's chucking it to, so he's getting yards and he's getting great fantasy points, but it's not doing anything on the actual field. Like I said it before and I'll say it again. I am ready to see Gardner Minshew in at QB for the Eagles. I want a little switch up. I just want to see if it's going to be any better, if it is Jalen Hurts, if it's the play calling, if it's the offense in general. I just need to know. And if Gardner Minshew comes out there and lights it up, I'm ready to run with him.
I'm surprised you didn't dress up as Minshew for Halloween.
I know.
I'm very
should have.
surprised you did not.
No joke. I almost was Gardner Minshew today, and then my hair said Patrick Mahomes instead.
So. Can you imagine if we both showed up on the stream as Gardner Minshew?
Honestly, I wanted to do the whole cougar shirt jorts situation. I always loved that look. Unfortunately, Jordan, I'm sorry. I'm going to be picking against the Eagles today because I think today is the day that the Lions get their first win. And every single week, the Lions have been so close. Every single week, it's like by a field goal in the last couple seconds of the game. And I'm honestly rooting for them in like a weird way. Like I want them to do well this year. So I think that the Lions will come out on top of the Eagles today because if they got to take advantage of a vulnerable situation, I think is the best way to put it without Jordan hating me.
Sam, I'm
No,
I'm on
it's
I'm on
fair. It's
Team
fair.
Detroit too this week. It's time. It's time for the Lions to get their first win. And the thing is, they haven't been losing games by a lot. They've been losing games by a couple of points. I think it's time. Sorry, Jordan. They might embarrass the Eagles today. I mean, they're at home. You might as well just embarrass the Eagles while you're at home on Halloween. Dan Campbell might go out and bite some kneecaps while after the game if they get their first win. I'm hoping that.
That'd be entertaining.
Yes.
It would be. It
It's
would
good
be.
TV.
I'm hoping that happens. So I have the Lions today in this matchup in Detroit. The Tennessee Titans are just rolling and rolling. They're going into Indianapolis today, going against the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz looking pretty good the past couple of weeks with his play. Jordan, do you think Carson is starting to return to his form, or is this could be just kind of a fluke the past couple of weeks?
No, Carson Wentz seems to be he's shaking off everything that he carried from Philadelphia that we saw in the beginning of the season, as his first season as a Colt. But now he looks more like himself and he looks more comfortable and he seems like he trusts the offense a little bit more and he trusts himself more, which is a huge thing. I actually took the Colts today just because I'm so over the Tennessee Titans. I literally never want to see them play another football game again. It's weird because I love so many people on the Titans, but just overall, I can't root for the Titans, which is so strange to me. But, Carson Wentz, they seem to be figuring it out. And this is another division where this is either of theirs for the taking if they can kind of get it together. So who knows? Maybe the Colts can rally. I really should root for them to lose. So the Eagles' conditional pick is a little bit better. But I do want Carson Wentz to do well. And I like seeing him look like himself again.
If you were in dire need of a fantasy streaming quarterback, would you pick up Carson Wentz? The Titans gave up 248. They've been giving up over 200 yards of passing each and every game. Do you think Wentz would be a good pick this week in fantasy, or just maybe stay away from him this week?
Yeah, no, I think Wentz would be good. And obviously the T.Y. Hilton, you get him back for 0.5 seconds, then you lose him again. And that obviously stinks. But I really don't think it's going to affect them that much because they were used to playing without him anyway in the beginning of this season. So they kind of already know how to make something work without him. So, yeah, I think Carson Wentz would be a good quarterback this week.
Sam, Ryan Tannehill hasn't really thrown a lot of touchdowns this week. I have his over one touchdown, over one. Do you think Ryan Tannehill will throw any touchdowns this week against the Colts?
He probably will. I think we get another one on the board there. Obviously he just completely always depends on Derrick Henry.
The mask is coming off
constantly. Evan is over it. Evan is so over it. Still Batman.
I'm so over that damn thing. Oh my God. It's getting so hot in there.
But yeah, I think Ryan Tannehill, I mean, he's got two amazing weapons to throw to in A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. He depends so much on Derrick Henry because he is the MVP of the league right now, basically, and he can throw touchdowns, and apparently. Like, he's good at that too. So, but I think Tannehill switches it up, does something for the Tennessee offense and passing. And I honestly think the Titans are going to win this game too, because I don't think the Colts won on Sunday Night Football against the 49ers. I think the 49ers lost. I think the 49ers really just made so many mistakes. So, and the Titans just completely obliterated Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So I'm going with the Titans.
I agree with you, Sam. It's it's funny how I had Indianapolis as one of my picks, maybe possibly going to the Super Bowl because, you have the return of Carson Wentz. He's reunited with Frank Wright. They could do magic together, and then it's just been kind of a disappointment so far. And
yeah.
I'm not totally sold of Carson coming back to form just yet. Like, give me a win against Tennessee, and then maybe we'll have that conversation. I've got Tennessee going in Indianapolis today, beating the Colts. The Cincinnati Bengals going into New York. This isn't even like a game. They're playing the Jets. The Bengals are rolling. The Bengals look like They are the best team in the AFC right now.
Yeah.
Bengals going into New York to face the Jets without Zach Wilson. Do we even have to discuss this game at
No, the
all?
Bengals,
Okay.
this was the quickest and best turnaround I've
Yes.
seen in a long time, and I am so here for it. I love everything about it. So, yeah.
Update on that trade that happened in my league. So the guy that complained and complained, he
Oh
is
my God.
out. He quit.
Oh,
How do
God.
you quit
He quit.
mid-season?
Actually, I think it was more like our commissioner forced him out because he kept like the commissioner, God love him, he's one of my best friends. He's like I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take the constant complaining every single day from this guy. So I finally said, if you want out, I'll give you your money back and you can just leave. And the guy said, yeah.
Wow.
I
Over
have
one
never
trade.
heard anything like that.
Yeah.
And it was a fair trade.
The fair trade at the time, and he
At
just
the
kept
time,
complaining about it.
yes.
Yeah. And then he's like, Evan, it could have been the trade that you may have like proposed to him. I proposed a trade to him this past week, but I canceled it. And he's like, that might have just drove him over the edge. But it was like a fair trade that
Yeah.
I proposed to him. But I was like, you know what? He'll never do it because he's such a pansy. And then he's out of the league. So we have a guy that just quit, a guy that passed away before the league started, but his team was drafted anyways. Yeah. So our league's just kind of like in a free fall right now. So.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, I think that's the most interesting fantasy league I've ever heard, ever.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Very
It's all
interesting.
Very interesting, yes. So, all right, our next matchup, the Los Angeles Rams traveling in the Houston. Tyrod Taylor is back for the Texans today. Another game. Brandon Cooks is pissed off. Mark Ingram was traded back to the New Orleans Saints. He's coming home. Brandon Cooks tweeted out he wasn't happy about it in some sorts of other words. Texans are still a mess. Deshaun Watson probably not going to get moved to the trade deadline. So he's just going to be sitting there collecting checks. Another game, should we even talk about it? Rams are probably just going to dominate this game all day. Ladies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Tyrod Taylor gives the Texans their best chance of winning ever, but it's not going to happen against the Rams. So.
I mean, the one game they won, it was with Tyrod. So, I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not against this defense. Not against Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. There's no way. But I am happy that Tyrod's back. I feel like he deserves all the chances in the world. This poor guy always gets the crap end of the stick, honestly. Yeah. So I'm glad he's back. And honestly, yeah, he is the shining hope for the Texans, but there's no way the Rams don't win this game.
All right. I love this next matchup. It's the New England Patriots going into LA to face the Chargers. The Chargers got dismantled by the Patriots last season, 45-0. But this was a Mac Jones-less Patriots team that they faced, but now the Mac Jones-led Patriots are going into LA to face the Chargers. I love me some Justin Herbert. I know you do, Jordan, so I'm not picking against the Chargers on this one. But I love the way the Patriots have been playing. It looks like the offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Damian Harris was just a madman last week. Actually, the whole run game was madmen last week. Everybody was getting touchdowns all over the place. Who do we got in this matchup against the Patriots and the Chargers?
I am 100,000% taking the Chargers just because the last time they played, they got absolutely embarrassed, yet like completely. Then they had their bye week. So now you had all this time to kind of like think about everything that went wrong in that game. And that game, I don't think that was actually reflective of how they are. I think that was an outlier. It was a fluky situation. And so now you just got embarrassed. You have your bye week. And now you're playing a team that completely dominated you last season. I just think they come out like guns a-blazing and nothing will be able to stop them.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. And that was, with the bye week and the horrible game against the Ravens, I 100% think Justin Herbert and this well-rested Chargers team is going to absolutely dominate. And Evan, if you don't know, Jordan and I are on the same page in terms of Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay.
I am absolutely.
We are the founders of the Justin Herbert fan club.
We really are. I bought Chargers hat, Chargers t-shirt. My brother bought me a shirt that says "The future is Herbert" on it. Like, I am all in on him. So I think the Chargers. This is going to be another good game. I think same as Steelers Browns, but yeah, definitely Chargers.
I've been a fan with his since he was drafted by LA.
Yeah,
and I say and usually like when I look back at former Oregon quarterbacks that were taken in the draft, Marcus Mariota. They start off hot and then they just peter out. But Herbert's just has been commanding this offense. Like
Yeah.
it's so, the first year, I mean, I think he really just blew people's minds how well he played with that offense. And now he's coming into his second season where he's just even better than last year. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm totally on the Justin Herbert train. So
I also have to give credit where credit is due. I was so against Mac Jones. Like, I was not a fan, and
Yep.
he consistently impresses the hell out of me. Like,
Yeah.
he is much better than I expected him to be, exceeding expectations for me. I think Jamar Chase should win Rookie of the Year, but if a quarterback was going to get it, it would be Mac Jones, which is crazy for me to say, but yeah, no, I take back everything I said about Mac Jones.
He's the best rookie quarterback in this class,
Which is right now, which
which
is
nobody
insane.
expected.
right.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to give him that because I
Yeah.
really beat him up during the draft in the first couple weeks of this season. So I needed to sit back and kind of admit where I was wrong.
I love the pick that the Patriots did it with him
Oh,
because
the Patriots handled it brilliantly.
exactly.
Yeah, they
But I was also wary about, we've seen the history of Alabama quarterbacks that come out of the draft and don't do so well in the league. And he's, the first couple of weeks we're seeing another Alabama quarterback not do so well in the league. And now it's kind of like he turned the page. Okay, now I've got control of this offense. I love how McDaniels and also Belichick have now really kind of looked at their strength of what they have, because they brought in all these guys in free agency, and at first I don't think they knew what they had and really knew what they were going to be doing with them, especially with a new rookie coming in. And now it's like, okay, we're using our tight ends more. Hunter Henry's been scoring the past 3 weeks. Like it's okay. This is kind of like it reminds me of when they had Gronk and Aaron Hernandez on the team, with the 2 tight end sets. Surprised nobody came on the show dressed as Aaron Hernandez, but it just reminds me of when that offense was put in there with McDaniels and Belichick, was the 2 tight end sets, and you have your running backs, and they're relying on the run game, which the run game is actually pretty decent with Damian Harris at the front end. So I like how they're playing right now. This might be a good game. This might be a shootout between these two teams. This might be a shootout.
I would love it.
Me too.
Mhm.
Fantasy wise, Damian Harris, give me some points, man, just like last week. All right, Jacksonville travels across the country to Seattle. This is a groaner of a game. Russell Wilson should be back next week. The pins are getting taken out of his fingers. He should be back. Do the Jags maybe have a chance against Seattle today?
They might have a chance. I don't. With Gino in there, it's so hard. I feel like that, like Seattle really dropped so much with Gino at the helm there, but Jacksonville has just constantly shown how poor they play. And despite this not being the best Seahawks game or the Seahawks team, I think the Seahawks are going to come out on top here.
Yeah, I agree. I think this game gives Jacksonville the best chance to kind of
Yeah.
sneak in another win.
Mhm.
But I just think Seattle just has a couple more pieces put together, even without Russell Wilson, even with all the other injuries. I just think they're still going to be able to do it. Jacksonville's literally in shambles. But who knows? If Jacksonville does sneak out a win here, it would be exciting. I would love to see it, but I just think Seattle has the upper hand.
Urban Meyer is just praying for more wins, so nobody's, going back to his little escapades a few weeks ago, which a lot of people have been dressing up as Urban Meyer.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah,
this year.
it's
They're
so funny.
good.
I love it. Yeah, Seattle's defense has held past 2 opponents under 350 yards total, so we'll see how Trevor Lawrence and the offense can do against Seattle's defense, which has been really stepping it up after. Seattle's run game is kind of in shambles. Alex Collins is questionable. He had a great game last week. Rashad Penny was put in for one series, and they were like, nope, we're not going to run Rashad Penny. So if you got Alex Collins, put him in the flex position against Jacksonville. All right, Washington travels to Denver. Ugh, another groaner of a game.
I know.
Ugh.
This week, and we don't get to see the Ravens this week. I just feel like there's so much missing without them. This is a sad week, honestly.
I'm actually kind of glad that there's only maybe a couple of good afternoon games, because that's when trick-or-treating happens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Patriots against the Chargers at 4, and then the Bucks and the Saints at 4. So those are 2 good games, but other than that, it's meh. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. Maybe they did that on purpose.
I would hope so. So,
Yeah.
ladies, who do we got? Washington or Denver this week?
I'm taking Denver just because it's very tough to travel to Denver and Washington.
Mm.
Like, this is another one. I keep picking Washington thinking they're going to win and they don't win. Very similar to what I keep doing with the Panthers. I'm like, oh, this is a good team. They'll be fine. And then they keep losing. But I don't know. Denver just seems they're not good, but they're not bad. And Washington should be good, but they just can't execute like in the way it's weird. Washington is weird this year, so I am going with Denver.
Same. Washington has been like underwhelming this year, and everybody was saying that this defense was going to be this most outstanding defense, and they're just not cutting it. And that was the whole point of this team, was that they were going to be this amazing defensive team. And when Fitzpatrick went down, and Heineke's great, honestly. Heineke's been doing what he needs to do in this team, but it's not a star quarterback. You're not going to win all these games. Denver too is just like, it's underwhelming as well. But is Von Miller playing? I know he was day to day.
He is questionable. He may not. He may be out for this game.
Okay, so again, defensive team losing defensive players. It's going to be like kind of a train wreck. But I'm going with the Broncos here as well.
Washington was literally in the red zone 3 times last week and couldn't get it points at all. Any of I kept every time I was looking, they were in the red zone. They were in the red zone, and something would happen where they walked away with nothing. 3 times in a row. I was like, all right, I think the hype for Washington is officially over.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that hype was done 3 weeks ago.
I know. Yeah. I don't know why I still tried to be like, no, Washington's still good, but they're just not. They're really not.
Like the expectations for their defense was so high this past offseason, and they just
There's nothing.
I haven't heard Chase Young's name one time.
No, me neither.
Nothing. Silence.
Yeah. I dropped them after I think week 4 for my defense and fantasy. Yeah. I was like, I can't handle you guys anymore. I'm gonna get it together.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? All right, this matchup is one I'm gonna enjoy watching at 425. I'm gonna let you ladies go over this matchup. Ask me some questions. The Buccaneers are traveling into the Caesars Superdome this afternoon to face the Jameis Winston-led New Orleans Saints. So yeah, kind of a revenge game for Jameis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is honestly this division game I think is going to be very telling. Do you think that, let's just say, the Saints do come out on top in this game? What does that mean for the Buccaneers?
It's not going to happen. So I don't even have to talk about it. I hate the Saints. I hate everything about the Saints, and it's almost like I hate them more than I couldn't say that because the Red Sox and the Yankees are terrible people. So this rivalry has gotten, I think, more and more intense every single year. Now that Jameis is the starting quarterback for them, now it's even more intense. And now this is like a really, for Jameis, it's okay. I need to cut down on my stupid ass mistakes that I usually do when I get panicked in the pocket. And he's going to have, Tampa's front 7 come after him a lot. I know Todd Bowles is just going to throw the kitchen sink at Jameis just to make him get out and do the happy feet stuff that he does. Now, this isn't Jameis Winston of last year where he was just like the gimmick where you would put him in a couple times, maybe do a wildcat play, or you put him into the playoff game where he throws that, that special play touchdown. This is Jameis Winston, the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. So it's going to be totally different. The only thing I have concerns about is, obviously the secondary for the Bucs is riddled with injuries.
Yeah.
Is Jameis and his new eyes able to maybe pick them apart like Swiss cheese?
LASIK Jameis.
Yeah, LASIK Jameis. There we go. LASIK Jameis. I think with he's in a good position because he has a great coach. Sean Payton is a great coach. Hands down. But with him, with Jameis, and we've all seen this pass before. If he gets flustered outside of the pocket, he's going to make mistakes. And I think that what Tampa has to prepare for is, they're gonna be probably chucking the ball. They're gonna be throwing the ball. Just Jameis is a gunslinger. That's all he does. He throws the ball. I mean, obviously they have a great run game with Alvin Kamara, but Tampa's defense against the run is one of the top top fives right now. And obviously, we don't know how much involvement Mark Ingram's going to have today in that offense. But honestly, this might be a close game compared to what other people think it's going to be. Now, obviously, with Tampa coming into New Orleans from last year, this is Tampa underneath Tom Brady for a full year with everybody that he has. So, obviously he doesn't have Antonio Brown today. Gronk is questionable, but he is supposed to suit up, but he has everybody else to throw to. And the one thing I want to see is Mike Evans have a huge game against Marshawn Lattimore, because those two always go at it. It's like a heavyweight fight between those two. They hate each other. I love it. I love seeing that matchup between those two on the sidelines. So I want to see Mike Evans just show out today. Obviously, I've got the Bucs. Ladies, who do you have?
I honestly think Mike Evans is going to have a great game. And I feel like for a while he wasn't around and wasn't really doing much. And now all of a sudden he's coming out here, catching Tom's 600th TD pass, giving the ball away, doing what he does best. But he's really showed up.
So incredible.
it was really
it's like what
funny.
You didn't have a conversation? Like, we're so close to Tom Brady's 600 pass. Like, don't give the ball away.
I just gave it away, and Tom Brady's like, well, I probably won't be throwing any touchdowns to you anymore.
Yeah, he was just like, you messed up.
Do you think the fan got an even trade for that ball?
I think
honestly,
so.
I would have asked for more. That's a priceless piece of NFL history right there. And I mean, yes, he got like a jersey, he got a ball, and he got like $1,000 to the store.
He got $1,000 to the store.
Season tickets for the rest of this year.
Oh, he did.
And Tom Brady gave him a Bitcoin worth like $50,000.
Okay.
And he got Mike Evans
part.
sneaker cleats from the game. So I think all the stuff that he got combined, you could like sell or keep if you're like a really diehard fan. True. I think it's enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know he got the season tickets. I was going to say I would have asked for season tickets. Like that would have been the thing on top of that. But either way, that does sound like an even trade. Now that there's all that other stuff.
I would have ran out of Ray J and say, you got to catch me to get this ball. And then like I'd be outside the stadium with my eBay app and be like, hey, this is Tom Brady's 600 touchdown pass. What do you got for me?
Unreal.
I do think the Bucs are going to win today, though. I think that Jameis is, this Saints team, it's like an up and down situation. And Tom is, he's Tom. And this is a division game, and he knows how division games go. So you never bet against Tom Brady. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. I do have the Bucs winning. Evan, like you said, I do have a feeling this is going to be a very close game. I think it's going to come down like 2 double zeros on the clock, or triple zeros on the clock. Am I okay? No.
All right.
It's fine. But no, if you give Tom Brady any time at the end of this game, he's going to be the mastermind, he will figure it out and he will win it. But I do think this is going to be tough. Jameis is going to be competitive today.
Okay. Our last matchup for the primetime game tonight is the Dallas Cowboys traveling into Minnesota. Dak is questionable. We don't know if he's going to be starting today unless the injury report has come out where he is going to be. Dallas going into Minnesota. Ladies, who do we got for this late night game?
I'm taking Minnesota.
Okay.
Just because I have to. I don't want to see the Cowboys win again.
Well, trust me, that's where we're both on the same page there. I don't want to see them win, but I don't know. Even with Dak not being in the game, what it would be Cooper Rush.
The Cowboys are so good.
They're so good. And
so
Dak is
good.
great. But obviously, like Zeke has figured out his fumbling problem, and they have Pollard and CeeDee Lamb, and like their offense is so stacked. Their defense has just gotten better over the weeks and in the offseason. I think the Cowboys are going to win. Plus, they're coming off a bye week. It's a late game. They have a lot of time to prep. I think the Cowboys are going to win.
This one's a tough one for me because if Dak doesn't start, obviously I'm going to pick the Vikings, but I hate picking the Vikings. I hate picking the Cowboys in anything. And I
think we're favored.
I know. I don't know about this. Minnesota's favored by 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
Interesting.
Kirk Cousins has been sacked only 9 times through 6 games so far, which that's not bad.
No.
I'm picking the Cowboys. I hate this. Ugh.
I know.
It puts a sour taste in my mouth.
Minnesota is, I
Me
know,
too.
Minnesota is super up and down, but for some reason, I feel like they win games that people don't necessarily think they should win, and then they lose dumb games. Like that's how the Vikings work. So we're gonna just pray.
Plus,
Okay.
Kirk
Go Kirk,
Cousins in
everyone.
prime time, isn't he? Like, he's only won one primetime game or something.
Right.
Oh, I
So
forgot about that
Kirk
statistic.
Cousins,
Adam
Kirk
Thielen
Cousins
is
doesn't
just
like the
going
lights.
to have a day today.
Trayvon Diggs is going to have a lot of interceptions today against Kirk Cousins.
He's so good.
I know.
So the
So
Cowboys are
good.
so good, and it's the most frustrating thing ever.
Okay, is that going to be the clip of the week with you saying the Cowboys are so good?
No.
Ugh.
No.
Ugh, what's on? Ugh,
If
God,
my
I can't
mom
believe
is
you said
watching, I'm
that.
sorry.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, before we close it out, I'm gonna do kind of a special segment. I'm gonna describe. I'm gonna give you guys a candy, and then you tell me what player this best describes.
Okay.
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 Ready.
Almond Joy. It's coconut chocolate. Gross. You want to
Mark Ingram.
Okay.
Why?
Interesting. Yes. Why? I would like to know about.
I don't know. I feel like his head is kind of almond shaped, and he's happy all the time.
Okay. Big trust. Woo woo. All right.
Big trust, almond joy.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I feel like it's like it's an acquired taste. Some people love it and some people absolutely hate it.
I usually throw it at people when they give it to me.
I don't think I've ever had an almond joy.
You're not missing much. It's coconut and
Okay.
chocolate. Terrible.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say is like Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers is someone that people either absolutely adore
I like
or
that.
you absolutely hate him, and there's no in between. And it's an acquired taste, and he is a strange man.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh, the best candy in the world.
I know. I have to agree with that.
It is.
I mean,
Especially if you put them in the refrigerator or the freezer, then they're really good. Yes.
I'm gonna say Justin Herbert
Oh.
because you got this warm peanut butter in the middle. Everyone loves you.
Jordan.
He's like, what is that? What you were gonna say?
It looks
Yeah.
like it, yes.
Yeah, because we.
I was
share
like
brain
the
cells.
best one. I was like, who do I absolutely love today? Justin Herbert.
Justin
I'm gonna
Herbert,
go
yeah.
Justin Herbert.
Okay.
No,
And,
it is
and
because you got the hard chocolate shell, and he's very shy and very reserved. And then you got the peanut butter, and he's my favorite thing ever.
nice and gooey on the inside, and just like you just want to like, yeah,
You just wanna
definitely.
cherish
I would
both
have to
of them?
go. If I'm gonna pick, if I have to pick someone else other than Justin Herbert, I'll go with like Joe Burrow, like another fantastic quarterback, great in every way. Everybody loves him. Maybe not AFC North people, but I'll go with him.
Okay. Twix. You can either have the left one or the right one. It's got the cookie crunch with the caramel.
I'm thinking tall, lanky green bean. I'm gonna go with Daniel Jones, and he's got sometimes two left feet,
Okay.
two right feet. Doesn't know what's going on, but also is like sturdy when you need him to be. I need to give something to my guy. That's my dude right there.
Twix are sturdy. They are. That it takes a lot to break them in half. That's true.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
He gets
I
hit
don't know.
every
I
week,
thought
too.
of Twix, and I thought of I thought of Devontae Smith.
Oh.
Just
Oh, we
because-
went with our respective teams there.
Yeah, we went with our respective teams there. I thought long and skinny and Slim Reaper, baby. So
Okay. All right. I like that. Snickers.
Mm.
Snickers.
Hmm.
Want to get away? Not going away for a while? Grab a Snickers. It's got the peanuts, the nougats, the chocolates, the caramel.
Got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's hearty. It'll fill you up.
Some people think it's a protein bar in some weird way, but yeah.
I'm gonna go with like Travis Kelce, like a sturdy guy, reliable for the most part. I mean, I'll pick my guy. That's my tight end here today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that like he's got everything that he needs. He's sturdy. He's good. He's big, powerful. Travis Kelce.
I don't know why my mind went to Derek Carr, just because it's like he has all of the pieces, but he's like he's not a protein bar. but like you
Sure.
have pieces of a protein bar, but you're candy. So you have to know where you belong.
If Derrick Henry was a candy, what candy would he be?
Oh,
Crunch.
yeah.
Wait, Nestle's Crunch?
Yeah.
Nestle's Crunch. Okay.
Nestle, a
Yeah.
crunch bar, because he just freaking crunches people to the freaking ground.
Or like some sort of like jawbreaker. Like
That's a
like
good
something
one.
that you absolutely cannot like bite down on,
Like
or
a
like your
warhead?
teeth will fall out.
Do you remember
Yeah.
those? Yeah.
Could you say an everlasting gobstopper from Willy
Yeah.
Wonka?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a good Derrick Henry comparison.
Okay. All right. Well, this segment's really gone off the rails, so we're done with that.
We could just sit here all day and just
I know,
name
right?
candy and football players.
All right, before we get out of here, starts and sits for this week. Jordan, who do we got for starts and sits for fantasy this week?
100%. I'm very excited. I feel like I've talked about him so much during this episode. I'm excited to have my Justin Herbert back, him in my starting lineup. It really just saves the day every time. So I made it out by the skin of my teeth last week, but I am very excited to have Justin Herbert back in his revenge appearance against the Patriots.
Sam, I got a fantasy conundrum.
Okay.
I've got Deebo Samuel, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb are my starting wide receivers. Who am I starting? Who am I sitting?
I would say start Jamar Chase for sure going up against the Jets. I would sit Deebo Samuel because even though the Bears aren't the best, the defense can be very good. And CeeDee Lamb, I think no matter who is throwing in the ball, he's going to pop off. So I would say sit, start.
Okay. I like
Sit,
that.
start.
Sit, start. I like that.
I'm in a situation as well. Tell me what you guys think I should do. So normally I don't care about kickers at all. Normally I drop them left and right. But in my one league, I have Justin Tucker, who I love. And like it's someone I don't necessarily want to lose, but he's on a bye this week. Now I'm projected to win without him, but only by 10. Do you think I take the gamble and just don't play a kicker?
See, that's a gamble. Oof.
My team, I'll tell you this: Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Tyler Lockett, Higgins, Goddard, Mike Williams, 49ers defense. So it's a solid team. And he had Kyler Murray, who only had 9 points this week.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, depending on who you stream, hopefully you're going to get positive points from this kicker.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
I
mean, it's a gamble if you don't put one in there because his team could go off and then you decided by 1 or 2 points, and that 1 or 2 points you could have gotten from a kicker that you could have started.
Exactly.
So I would pick up a kicker just in case.
All right. No, that's the smart thing.
Yeah. I would do that. Definitely.
All right.
I mean, if it was me, I would definitely pick up a kicker because
if I was projected to win by like a lot more, probably in like the 15, 16 at least range, then I would feel more comfortable not doing it. But it's less than 10 points, actually. It's like 9 point something. So yeah, I think I'm going to do it.
I would put one in there just in case.
It's too close.
It's too close.
A little too close.
A little too close. Okay, cool. All right, ladies, we are going to get out of here. Thanks for joining in the comments. If we did have any comments, thanks for watching us. It's the Fantasy Underdogs podcast, which you can find us on the Believe Podcast Network and also betonline.ag. Have a safe, happy Halloween today. Make sure you put your pickems in and also set your lineups. We are out. It is the Fantasy Underdogs podcast. Blah, blah, blah. That's terrible. I don't do that anymore. God. We out. Peace.